Hey there. You probably know the Video Creator Show is brought to you by VidChops.com. What is VidChops.com? Well, it is an editing service that will take the horrible burden of editing off your back. We all know editing, video editing, it's tedious. It takes forever. But what if you had a professional who did it for you? You go to sleep, you wake up, it's done. Wouldn't that be magical? VidChops.com. Hire a professional, save yourself time and energy, and take your YouTube channel to the next level. Today, I am speaking with Brian Eslick of How To Automotive. He has over 180,000 subscribers on YouTube and over 55 million total channel views. He is an automotive expert. He has been repairing cars, diagnosing them for more than 25 years. This guy has been around the block, and he has succeeded in his personal brick and mortar business and, of course, on YouTube itself. So I'm going to be talking to him about how he has combined these two seemingly unrelated worlds successfully. With that, Brian, thank you so much for being here today. How you doing?
Thank you for having me. Yeah, excited to be here.
So yeah, I'm excited to be talking to you, especially I've been having some car troubles recently,
Okay.
mostly cosmetic stuff, body shops and whatnot.
Yeah.
However, obviously being able to repair cars and that knowledge is very valuable. I'm sure it's a perfectly difficult business to be in and to maintain, but you've been doing it for over 2 decades now. I'm curious, like, it seems like things were going well for you already. Why did you start filming these videos and putting them online? Like, because it always seems like extra work, right? If you're already doing well, then why bother filming things, putting things online? Like, what was your kind of initial reason for getting into YouTube in the first place?
Well, for me, it started out for a lack of information on a vehicle I was working on. So I went to YouTube looking for videos to figure out how to do a repair I was doing. And I found something, but it was actually a really poorly done video. And I was like, I don't even know how to do this repair, but I know I can do a better job than this guy did on the video. So I figured it out. I mean, he gave me the gist of what I needed to know to make the repair, and I just decided to film it. And it got good reviews and people liked it. And so I made another one and another one and another one. And now I'm 1,200 videos later. It just kind of didn't intend to start a YouTube channel. It just kind of snowballed from there. Pretty much how it started.
And did it affect your business as well, or is your YouTube channel pretty separate from your actual business?
The channel is separate from the shop. And what it did do is bring a lot of customers to the shop. And the funny thing is, I don't even mention the name of the shop or where my shop's located or in any of the videos, but they still somehow find me. And I have people, I live in San Diego, and I have people driving from LA to have their cars worked on. I go, they got good mechanics in LA, but they bring their car to me. It's kind of fun. Yeah.
Wow, that's flattering. I mean, that's like the amazing thing about what a parasocial relationship is. People will drive a long way just to see you and kind of, I mean, they trust you, right? Like, yeah. I think when somebody watches a video and you explain something clearly, especially with cars, and if you don't know anything about cars, and like, I'm always worried when I go to a mechanic that they're lying to me or they're exaggerating or they're just not being entirely honest. So I feel like when you're able to make these videos and show people kind of how things work, what's going on, how much it might cost, etc., they do end up developing a trust with you. So that makes sense why it would increase business so much, especially with a car shop, where I think a lot of people feel the way I do, where since they don't know much about the inner workings of their vehicle, they kind of have to. There's a lot of trust that goes into a relationship with a mechanic.
Yeah, you definitely have to build that trust, and it's easy. It's hard to build and easy to tear down. So you have to be on point with that. Yeah.
And so once your channel started taking off, like it started bringing in more business, it sounds like. I mean, how much of your day to day involves YouTube? I'm guessing most of it is still kind of running your shop. But is YouTube, like, does it take up that much time for you?
In the beginning, it took a lot of time. So basically, I was documenting my day job and just kind of throwing up what I was doing at the shop, and that's pretty much what I did. And so, like, if I was doing a repair, and normally it would take like 2 hours to do the job, but if you add a video, creating a video, that took 3 hours. Now that whole job took 3 hours, and so, and I was making in the very beginning 2 and 3 videos per day. And then
Wow.
I would film 2 or 3 videos per day and edit all weekend long. And then the following week, I would upload all those videos that I did the week before. And so in the very beginning, it was very busy. And now I put out 1 video a week. And then I've switched my content a little bit. I do a lot of shorts right now. And so I can do a lot of tips and quick little tips and how-to stuff. And so the shorts have allowed me to do things more quickly, and it took the pressure off of filming some of the videos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what is your overall philosophy with your channel? Like, is it more of a fun thing? Like, do you see it more as like creative expression or kind of a passion project? Or do you see it more as a business and an extension of your shop?
It's kind of weird. So I was thinking about this exact question. At first I was just trying to help people out, like just teach them how to, not really teach them how to like be a mechanic or whatever, just teach them how to get out of the bind or whatever they are. So say if their alternator went out on their car, I would show them how to put that alternator in the car, and that helped out a lot. And then I got the technicians, wanting information on how to be a mechanic and stuff like that. So then I started helping those people out, and then I got tool companies and all these companies coming at me wanting me to promote their products. So it's kind of going through these little waves of how I'm running the channel. And I don't know if that answers your question or not, but that's kind of how it is.
Mm-hmm. So, like, there's been different chapters of how you see the channel. Like, there's been times when it feels like a business and it's a good kind of money-making opportunity that happens to be really interesting to work on. And then other times it's less like that, where there's you're more in it for, I mean, like recently you put out taking your daughter to LA, and it's like, that seems like more of a fun video than like a here's how to fix this type of video. So would you say like now you're kind of having more fun with the channel instead of kind of treating it like a business? Or
exactly. I'm definitely having a lot more fun. What I want to bring to the channel a little bit more is a little bit more where you're teaching and entertaining people at the same time. And my older videos were just like, this is how there was no fluff. Everything was edited out. Like, this is how you do this repair, and then you just move on. And it was great for search type content, but it didn't attract the viewers that want to hang out with me and know more about me and stuff like that. So I'm trying to expand that out a little bit, where I can I forget what the type of content they call it, but not search content, but more broad content. So that's why I'm adding more fun things to the channel, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. You're trying to get your personality out there more instead of just kind of being a how-to channel, so to speak. So your experience with shorts, like, I'm curious. So in February, YouTube supposedly changed how shorts were monetized. And the idea was creators would be able to make more money off of shorts, theoretically. Did you see, a lot of your views come from shorts, so you seem like a good guy to ask here. Did you see any difference in how much money you were making from shorts starting in February?
Well, not initially. So I started uploading shorts just before February, and it only increased my revenue maybe $200 for the entire month, which is a little something. But what it did increase was the amount of subscribers, and what it did increase was the amount of views to all the other videos. I noticed my whole channel as a whole went up. So I would credit that to the shorts, all the new people coming in and stuff. Yeah. So
it does. Yeah.
It hasn't made a lot of money.
I see. So it's not like a direct monetary gain necessarily. It sounds like there was a slight one, but it's more so in it increases overall traffic to the channel. Like
Yeah.
your long form content is more likely to get promoted because people are watching your shorts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now I have done a kind of a clever thing in it where I would do like a mini review of a product, and then I would say, hey, if you're interested in this product, in the comment section is a pinned an affiliate link, and I've gotten people to click on the links, and I've made a little bit of money that way.
Mm. Okay. Yeah. Affiliate marketing seems like, I mean, it's one thing I've definitely underutilized, and it does seem like with shorts, especially. I mean, the view potential is so high with shorts. I think that's a really smart move to
Yeah.
actually put affiliate links in there so that people can, your biggest short has over 500,000 views here. That's a lot of eyeballs.
Yeah.
So I think any way that people can figure out how to indirectly monetize shorts, I think is always a good idea because I've come to the realization that directly monetizing shorts is just not really the way to go. It does seem like they're more of an indirect thing.
Yeah, yeah. So by me telling them what to do, like give them a command, like, "Hey, go click this link," it takes them to a place, and then I gain revenue from that. So that has worked out for me.
Hmm. That is awesome. I'm glad shorts are working well for creators because they are. I feel like their mass adoption is relatively new on YouTube, so it's always interesting to talk to people and how they've kind of been changing with shorts and changing their channel. And sounds overall very positive.
Yeah,
My yeah.
I was gonna say
What's up?
it's freed me up a lot. So right now I got a lot going on in my personal life. I'm remodeling my house and stuff like that. And so it's taking up a lot of my time. And so what I was able to do is by reposting old content from Facebook and Instagram and re-uploading them to YouTube as shorts. Now I post upwards of 2 to 3 videos per day from old content that I did over the last 5 years, and I haven't really produced a whole lot of new content for YouTube, but it's still, it keeps the channel growing, and it keeps me, I'm still there every day. People see me every day, so it's allowed me to keep uploading videos, but yet I'm not really working on the YouTube channel at the very second. So it's
Right.
yeah.
Huh. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You're like still, you don't have to put in too much work to get in front of people, essentially.
Yeah.
And that is really important for creating a brand. This is actually, I was listening to a podcast yesterday about kind of, being on YouTube. And one of the biggest issues people have is like, how do you stay in people's minds when you aren't posting a video?
Yeah.
And that's like a weird problem. And it does seem like shorts are a good way to kind of sidestep that problem and just, I mean, make more short videos that are easy to make. They don't take that long. And especially with you repurposing old content,
Yeah.
why not?
Exactly. Or I'll take a clip out of a long form video. I'll take a clip out and upload it as a short, and it doesn't take very much time or effort to make that happen. And it's still a very valuable video, though.
Hmm. Right on. So my next question for you is like with having a shop and a YouTube channel that ties into it, like did you have to scale up with your shop? Like did you have to hire more mechanics with the kind of the higher influx of people? Because it seems like a business like this, obviously, repairing cars is complicated.
Yeah.
It's not something where, you're just selling t-shirts and the more people that see it, the more t-shirts you sell. It's like, every problem is a little different. So scaling up and sort of reacting to the extra attention, that seems like more complicated than it might seem on the surface. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, it's definitely helped with the amount of flow going to the shop. So I actually have a upwards of a month waiting list to even get a car in there, and it's a good problem to
Wow.
have. And so That's why I don't mention the shop in any of the videos, because if I mention the shop with the amount of views and stuff I get, it'd be a year-long waiting list, for people to get it. I didn't have any time for videos, so I just make the videos and people find out about it. And to answer your question, we have hired a few extra techs in the shop, and we are looking into expanding it in the future. I'm actually going to be doing it more at my own house. I'm going to build a shop at my own house, and I have a little bit of property, and I'm going to build a shop and then make the videos even more detailed and give more to the videos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so now that YouTube has been such a big success for you, like, has it, like, in what ways has it changed your life? Obviously, it's given more business to your shop. It's kind of increased the waiting list time. I mean, a month out, that's a thriving shop right there.
Yeah.
But like, has it changed the way you look at the world at all, or has it changed your day to day much? I know, like, now you're not spending as much time on YouTube, but how has it changed your outlook on things? Because I know for me, having an audience, it has been it's been fun. It can be exciting. It can be a little nerve wracking. It's, I don't know. I feel like everybody is kind of able to get their own taste of fame if they really want.
Yeah.
And at least for me, that has kind of changed how I look at the world in certain ways, and even see the media in certain ways. So I'm just wondering if you could speak to that, how YouTube has kind of changed your outlook on things, if at all.
Yeah, no, it's definitely changed my life, and for the better, for sure. Monetarily, it's made my life a lot better. I have a lot more freedom now, and I have a lot more fun with my money as well, and that's all due to YouTube. As far as fame goes, I as funny as I have nearly 60 million views, and probably even more on all the other social media platforms, and I rarely get noticed. It's the funniest thing, like rarely get noticed at all. But when I do, it's kind of cool. But as far as changing my life, it changed my life the most with just having freedom now. Like I don't have pressure anymore on me. The extra money from YouTube has taken all the pressure off my life as far as financial goes. So I can take liberties and I can try stuff, and so that's where it's mainly changed my life the most.
Yeah, money is huge. I mean, money is freedom, and I think, but what's funny is that clearly isn't the reason you got into YouTube. I mean, talking to you and kind of your origin story with YouTube, like, do you think that's why you succeeded? Do you think it helped that you weren't that interested in money to begin with? Or like, that seems so counterintuitive, but I feel like I hear this story a lot where money wasn't really the goal, fame wasn't really the goal, and yet here you are with much more financial freedom than you did before.
Yeah.
Like, why do you think it happened the way it did?
Definitely. I would say, to your point, I did not do it, like you said, to make money when I first started. I just did it to help people, and I think that right there resonates a lot. And now I did switch my goal, about a year in. I wanted to learn how to make money because I wanted to put money more into the content. And, so I started doing reviews and stuff like that. And that's kind of how it popped off for me. It was, if I didn't have that money coming in, I wouldn't be able to do half the videos I do. And so that motivation to make money, to make the videos better, to make the content better, to give more, it's kind of like a big circle, really. Yeah. I don't know if I'm sure you're familiar with Mr. Beast, but like how he puts like 90% of the money that he gets back into the videos is kind of what you have to do. You have to reinvest back into the content in any way you can. And that could be upping your camera gear, or that can be, upping your audio, or upping the background, or taking a course how to get better. And that all takes money. So the money from YouTube, kind of, it's like a big circle, like I said, like it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What is the first thing you bought? So when YouTube started making you a lot of extra money, like, what was the first fun purchase you made that was like maybe some substantial cash?
I bought a Jeep, and then I put a bunch of money into the Jeep. Yeah, and it was a complete waste of money. Like it was just for fun, just because. and and now I'm probably going to sell the Jeep and get something else fun. But yeah, that was probably the first thing I splurged. But the first thing I did was I bought tools, and then I made review videos on the tools, and then that made more money, and I bought more and it just kept. I bought a lot of tools.
And so what did you do to the Jeep exactly? Did you put like new suspension on it, new paint job? Like, what? Tell me about this Jeep.
Oh yeah. I completely lifted it. I changed the axles front and rear, which are the differential portions of it. I re-geared it. I don't know what. I did so much. I new rims, new tires, new fenders, bumpers, winches. All it just you go crazy with it, and then I'm here in San Diego, so we have a large off-road community, and I'm part of a Jeeping club, and we take it out and we have fun with it and stuff. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That sounds like a blast to me. I think that's a great use of money. But, I guess if you're not off-roading as much as you thought you would, then still sounds like fun to me. I feel like when you got a lot of extra cash to throw around, may as well try some things, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah. So like you said, I don't use it as much as I want to. That's the reason why I'm actually going to sell it. So I'm going to buy a sports car now. I'm either a C8 Corvette or the Toyota Supra. I like that car. So something I can drive on a daily basis and have a little bit more fun on it daily. Yeah, that's the goal now.
Right, you can zoom around the streets instead of having to like go out of the city to use it. That makes sense to me. Yeah, especially So I'm getting a little off topic here, but so we were talking a little before the podcast. I lived in San Diego for like 7 years. I just moved up to Portland, Oregon. I feel like the roads down there are like in SoCal are so great. Like it never snows.
Yeah.
You can just drive fast and clear as long as there's no traffic. And I don't know, a sports car sounds like a great purchase to me.
Yeah.
But before we go off on too much of a tangent, because this is a YouTube business podcast, are there other creators in the space that you take inspiration from? Like, because it seems like the YouTube automotive space, like there aren't a ton of people doing it, but I'm also not like an expert on the scene. So are there other creators that you look at and you're like, I want to be more like that guy, or I want to kind of take some things here and there from these people?
Oh, definitely. There's quite a few automotive content creators. Actually probably more than I know of. But yeah, like let's see. Eric the Car Guy is one of them. He's a really cool guy. I got a few opportunities to hang out with him, and he has a YouTube channel that pretty similar to mine. And he grew his channel from a little small carport to he has a big shop and he does a lot of cool stuff. And then there's other YouTube channels. Humble Mechanic is a Volkswagen specialist, and he does everything about Volkswagen. So he has a really cool channel, and I got to hang out with him and meet him. There's a lot of events that happen in the automotive world, and where these people all come together, and then so you run into all these automotive creators and stuff. SEMA is one of them. It happens in Las Vegas. It's a convention for all the aftermarket stuff in the automotive world, and from car parts to tools, you name it, it's there, and it's a couple 100,000 people will show up at this event, and a lot of them, a big majority of them, are content creators. They're at this event. So there's a lot of them out there for sure. There's actually a lot of competition too in what I do. When I first got on, there probably wasn't that much competition, but now it's pretty saturated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, YouTube in general seems like it's getting more and more saturated. Like, in order to get noticed, like you have to do something very different, or to have a personality that nobody else can bring. Have you found that you've kind of dealt with that over the years? Like, do you feel the changing landscape of YouTube has affected your channel or your views, your revenue in any way? Like, how have things changed since you first got on the platform?
When I first got in, it was more search-based for sure. I think it was, at least in the automotive part of it, it was very search-related. Now, I think it's a lot of more what they call infotainment. So they're entertaining you and teaching you, and I think that type of content has drastically changed over the years, and it's more of it. And I think the creators doing that are some of the largest creators on YouTube. There's another creator, Chris Fix. I think he has coming up on 10 million, followers, and he does that. He has a great ability to teach you and entertain you at the same time. So I think that's where the shift has gone now lately.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Because yeah, the incorporation of an algorithm, it really changed the game a lot, and kind of wanting to get on people's homepage. It's just a different game than searching. And I remember when I first started my channel, Treesicle, in 2014, we kind of changed some things around with the title, and it immediately jumped from like page 14 on the search to the top of page 2,
Yeah.
or no, I think it was like close to the top of page 1, and that made a huge difference. I'm sure that change would still make a big difference today, but back then it did seem like it was easier to kind of get noticed in that regard because search was so important.
Yeah.
And you could get a lot of initial momentum that way. Whereas now it is more, as you said, kind of infotainment seems to be more
it's more
popular
broad
now.
Yeah, it's broad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But search content's great content, because I got videos from 5 years ago that are still pulling views, and it's all coming from search. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with search. If you're going to create videos and you're just getting started, search is a great place to start, and then you can expand from there. But it gets you on the map for sure.
Mm-hmm. Right. And that is really important to note. Like we are not talking bad about search. In fact, I have a small channel where search is the main way I'm getting views right now. It might not be able to take you into the upper echelons of YouTube, at least not right now.
Yeah.
But it absolutely is a valid way to get a significant amount of views, and it could definitely get you initial momentum.
Especially if you get the right topic. If you hit the right topic or the right timing of whatever the current trend is, it can take off. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So like, what is like in your sphere, are there big trends that you feel like are important to jump on? A lot of what you cover seems relatively timeless. I mean, I guess if somebody makes a new tool, you can cover it.
Yeah.
But like in the automotive space, like what's an example of a big trend that you hit that wasn't a timeless video about, how to replace an alternator or something like that?
So I get a lot of opportunities to do reviews on tools that are not out yet, and so being first to the market or showing those off helps me out. Also, trends in the automotive world, like we got a big one coming up right now, which is everybody's going to electric vehicles. So everybody's talking about electric vehicles. The tooling is switching to electric vehicles. The training is, all that's all changing. So that's all like a trending topic that we're all going to talk about over the next 10 years is going to be electric vehicle. So that's an example of, a topic or a trend, and then maybe in 10 years, everybody will be talking about how do we keep our old cars alive, and then we'll switch back to that or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Makes sense, huh? Yeah, like, so I'm curious about your revenue streams. Do you like you have AdSense, you have sponsors, you have a store, like what other, you have affiliate links?
Yes.
Like what percentage, like could you break down the percentages of like what is earning you what, not necessarily specific numbers, but just kind of percentages, like what is the most important to your channel?
So AdSense, it's about 50% of what I make, and then the other 30% it comes from 40% comes from affiliate, and then the rest of it is either sponsored deals or I'm selling something on my own online. But most of it actually comes from AdSense on my side. Only probably because I'm just not very good at the whole searching for brand deals and stuff is something I'm learning and working on right now. Like, so I have a couple brand deals going on, and then now I'm pursuing it more now. And so, yeah, that I would say most of my money comes from AdSense, and then affiliate marketing, and then sponsored content is third for me. I would like to switch that in the future and get the sponsored content more towards the top. But that's where I'm at right now. So affiliate and sponsors and AdSense is really where I work on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so affiliate marketing to me seems like the best way to make money. I mean, besides AdSense, I guess, but it's
easy.
nice because you.
It's
right.
It's very easy.
And so when you say you want to get sponsorships closer to the top, like why do you want sponsors to get higher instead of kind of prioritizing affiliate marketing?
The reason why is you make a large lump sum through sponsors up front, like right away, and then that gives you the freedom to get creative with the video content or just having that extra lump sum of money. The AdSense and the revenue, it's like trickle. You constantly got a bunch of, like I have 1,200 videos and they all have a little trickle. So add them all up and they make a lot of money, but individually they don't make that much money individually. But when you add them all up, it does. And so the sponsored deals, you get a large chunk of cash right there, and it gives you more liberties to do things or take chances. So that's why I want to get that more towards the top.
Sure. And how do you think you want to break down sponsorships? Because do you think you would try to have companies like basically they give you one sum and you say, I'll put an ad on 3 videos or something? Because people have had a lot of success with that, kind of selling in bulk advertisements. Or do you think you'll go for more of like kind of a single video basis?
I like the bulk version a lot better. I like to be more like of a brand ambassador type situation, because when you're in that situation, you're more likely, you use the product, you're involved with the product, and and people can see that, and you can sell the product. And it works out better for the brands, I think. If the one-offs, you can do a one-off and take the money real quick, and it's, I don't know, there's nothing behind it. But when you do 7, 10, 15, 20 videos for a company, or a year's worth of content for a company, I have one sponsor that I do a full year's worth of content, 1 video a week I make for them. And it's just so much nicer, easier to work with the brand that way versus the one-off. There's no person, like the one-offs. Like I don't know, I've done a few of them, and I just don't like the way they play out. So if you can schedule your brand deals, or work your brand deals where you do multiple ones, it's a lot better. You get to know the companies better. I have companies actually, they fly me out to their events and stuff. Yeah. So if you can work that way, that would be the way to do it.
Sure. And do you reach out to companies, or do you mostly let them come to you?
See, in the beginning, I would reach out to them, and I would reach out to them through Instagram. I would inbox the companies I wanted to work with through Instagram, because the person running the Instagram usually is directly related to their marketing team. And then, if they weren't the person in charge or responsible, they could put you in touch with them. So I got a lot of deals through Instagram, and now a lot of people, they email me. I get hundreds of emails every day now, and there's a lot of people trying to scam you out there. Oh my goodness, I get hundreds of emails a week, and out of hundreds of them, more than half of them are scammers or just like you just got to watch out for them. I don't know if they're trying to take your channel from you or what they're trying to do, but there's not a lot. There's some snakes out there for sure.
Right. What advice do you have for avoiding the snakes or like spotting them?
When you look at their emails, one, you can tell the ones that are usually, they have a lot of misspellings and stuff like that in their emails, and then also you can click on their where it came from, and if it's not directly related to the company that they're saying they're related to, you'll see that in their email a little tag or whatever. And so I look for that. And then also, if I like what the product is, but I don't 100% trust them, I'll point blank ask them to send me, hey, I need more verification that you are who you are, and I'll ask for something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is really good advice. I think like being more careful rather than too overzealous is always the right balance, especially with if an email seems sketchy, it probably is.
Yeah.
Were you ever approached by MCNs or like multi-channel networks where they wanted to take a percentage of your revenue, and in exchange they would give you empty promises, basically?
Yeah, I was definitely approached by them a lot in the very beginning. Not so much anymore. But I
Yeah.
also got some advice from other creators that that worked with MCMs. I asked them, I inquired about it, and for them, it was not the best of experiences for them, and so I just stayed clear of them. I never used any of them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That overall, I think is the right choice. It is funny. MCNs they have kind of fallen off the map.
Yeah.
They were so huge for a while. I mean, yeah, there was Machinima. Disney had an MCN. I was with one for a few years, but we negotiated to the point where I think it was. I mean, financially, it probably wasn't worth it. We got like some free trips to Disneyland, and I think it ultimately was worth it for a while. But we had to negotiate pretty hard, and overall, yeah, it's really just not worth joining.
Yeah.
So I think you were smart to stay away.
Yeah, a friend of mine, he had they created obligations he didn't want to do. So like they wanted him to do events and stuff, and he didn't want to be a part of it. And because he signed the contract, he had to do it with them. Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Read your contracts, people.
Yeah.
Seriously. And especially if a contract seems too long for like what it is, then I don't know. To me, that's also a bit of a red flag. It's like 50 pages. Well,
yeah.
What are they putting in that 50 pages? Could easily be like 4. But yeah, they do seem like not a huge deal anymore, and that's a good thing for sure.
Yeah, I haven't seen them in a while, really.
Mm-hmm. So what is your golden rule for YouTube? Like, if somebody's thinking of starting a channel, like, what would you tell them as your most important piece of advice?
Get started. Don't wait for your camera. Don't wait for anything. Once you have an idea, just run with it. Also, not try to reinvent the wheel. So if you're good at something, like I'm good at automotive repair, I'm not going to go try to start a bowling channel, and just because I like bowling, I just do what I can talk about all day, every day. So if I can talk about car stuff all day, without thinking about it. And so if you start a channel that you can talk about something, where you can just talk, the ideals will keep flowing. You just won't have. You'll be off on the running start, and that's a big advantage. That's my 2 cents on that there.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And like, people, I think, sometimes want to start a channel in something that's very whimsical, but that they don't necessarily have a lot of knowledge in.
Yeah.
And that can be, I mean, not dangerous, because if your YouTube channel doesn't succeed, not the biggest deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I think most of us, especially if you've had a career in something for a long time, that's your expertise. And probably what shoots a lot of people in the foot is they think what they are an expert in wouldn't be interesting to other people. But if it's interesting to you, then there's probably an audience out there for it. And I've interviewed enough people on this podcast to know that there is an audience for everything.
For sure.
I mean, everything from car repair to like Excel spreadsheets. I mean, there's entire YouTube channels dedicated to that, and some of them have over 1 million subscribers.
Yeah.
Like, there's kind of spiritual channels. There's everything, anything you could possibly think of. If you think it's boring, it's not. It's just, if you are excited by it, then that will shine through, and people will notice and they will gather around. They'll hit that subscribe button.
Yep.
And that's really all it takes, is speaking charismatically about something that you are knowledgeable of.
Yeah, yeah. And when you're making these videos, you're going to come across a lot of challenges as you make them, and you just got to adapt and overcome, and just make, look at your last video you made and just try to make your next video a little bit better than that previous video, kind of in competition with yourself, and not look at all the other YouTubers out there. Just look at what you're doing, your content, and just move forward there.
Yep, I think that's great advice. Like, not overthinking it is really huge. I think it's easy to overthink because when there's a camera looking at you and you have an audience watching you, or you want an audience to be watching you, it's easy to get way too self-aware about what's happening, when actually just taking action and not overthinking it is the easiest way to not just garner an audience, but also to get better and to grow.
Yeah.
It's easier said than done sometimes, but I think just even acknowledging that the voice in your head that can be hypercritical, it can only help you so much, and sometimes it's just not worth listening to.
Yeah. One of the big advantages, or one of the things I learned in this whole process, is editing videos makes a huge difference. Take the time to learn editing and editing techniques, and cut the fluff out, make the videos as long as they need to be, and not any longer, not too short, not too long, just make them as long as they need to be. And that's where the sweet spot is for the videos.
Yeah, that is very true. And like, do you think there is any power in like, I mean, obviously editing can be really huge, but sometimes do you think it's possible to over edit a video?
I don't know. I never really thought of that one. I mean, I suppose it's possible, but I think an over edited video is still better than an unedited video.
Yeah, it's a philosophical question. I think overall you're definitely right.
Yeah.
Like, editing a video more is probably going to increase the chances of the video doing better. I think the only exception is if you are putting so much time into editing videos. Like Treesicle, my channel was built with very editing intensive videos. I mean, it would take like 50, 60 man hours to edit a video. And that, I think, was kind of unsustainable or too expensive. So if you can, but that's like a kind of specific situation. I think with your type of video, yeah, I don't know if it is possible to over edit. Because it is, I don't know, you're not like having all these fancy photoshopped images and cuts to dumb memes every 5 seconds or whatever. It's kind of a different beast.
Yeah. So on some of my first videos, I would start the video camera, and I was like, okay, I'm taking this part off or whatever, but I would walk to my toolbox and get the tool and then walk back, and there's like 30 seconds of dead air there. And I learned, you just cut that out and just shorten the video, and it just, you make it exactly as long as it needs to be without all that little fluff of like the dead air time and it just made the video so much better.
Yeah, that makes total sense. So we're approaching the 45-minute mark here. What is on your horizon? Like, you said that you're gonna build a shop in your house. That seems like a fun personal project that will help out your channel. Like, could you tell us more about that, or also any other plans you have?
No, that's the main plan right now. So the main plan is, I'll build my own personal space. It'll be a shop/studio, and I'll be able to focus on the actual content. So like, if I'm shooting, like right now, if I shoot something right now at the shop, if it's messed up, it is the video. The footage is what the footage is, and I have to edit it the best way I can, put it up there. With what I'm focused on now is having the shop, and I'll shoot the video. If it didn't come out right, I can redo it until I get the content the way I want it. So I'm going to make the content for me a little bit more crisper, and by doing that with the shop at the house.
Yeah, right on. Well, that sounds like a fun project that will definitely help the channel out. I just making things more efficient, and it'll be easier to make higher quality videos.
Yeah.
Because yeah, having the right space is huge. I mean, right now I have to make videos from my bedroom, and it's a bit of a pain in the ass. But I think having a proper space where everything is all set up for that, it really does make a big difference.
Yeah, but that's the best thing is you're still making the video. You didn't allow, not having the perfect space, hold you back from making a video or
Right.
creating content. That's what I see. A lot of people want to do channels, and they make excuses. They don't have this or that. It's like just shoot, just go, and then evolve when you have the money and the time or whatever. You just make it better as you go.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So true.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, thank you for being here today. His channel is How to Automotive. Really, anything you could ever need to know about the tools, fixing your car. I mean, it's all there, and he knows what he's talking about. He is in the business, and he is an expert by far.
Yeah,
So
thank
yeah,
you.
is there anything I missed there? Anything you'd like to pitch or talk about?
No, can't think of anything. Just thank you for having me on the show. I'm really, really excited to be on here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, it's been great talking to you, and I definitely have learned a thing or two or three about the automotive space. So
Yeah, thank you.
with that, whoever you are watching, thank you so much. I appreciate you as much as I appreciate Brian. So
Thank you.
with that, I will see you in the next one.